into the garden. It's a beautiful winter day, even though it should really be spring. It kind of looks more like winter. It's actually around 40 degrees out here, which is pretty nice. But it's twice that in the greenhouse. I kept these plants in here for the past couple days, even though it's been below freezing outside and really snowy. You can see everything's looking great. We've got just cool hardy crops like kale and broccoli. We're actually getting close to 90 degrees, and it feels like it too. It's incredible. It feels like summer in here. This is really great for germinating seeds during the day. It just traps that heat, and because the greenhouse is really small, it doesn't take much to warm it up. So we've got leeks and onions. I've got some celery started right over here. Probably gonna split those up. I've got some spinach, which I'm gonna grow to maturity in the greenhouse, just as an experiment. Got a couple sprouts of kale. We've got some lettuce started, and it's kind of struggling, so I'm probably gonna plant this out somewhere in one of these larger pots. Maybe one of these big ones down here. The tomatoes are actually sprouted, so we've got a few of those, and a whole bunch down here. These ones look great. So that one looks really nice. I might split that one off. I'll try and keep the strongest one and then transplant the weaker one, just to see if I can keep them both. And then down here on the second shelf, I've got some peas. And this is another experiment to see if I can grow them to maturity in the greenhouse. And although I would love to plant these outside, it's just not quite ready yet. I mean, just look at this. There's a foot of snow on the ground. That's crazy. We've actually made it close to 100 degrees. That's pretty amazing. I brought out a couple buckets of water, and I've got them in the corners. I'm using them as anchors, but also for temperature control. So there's one over here, and then there's another one right over here. These are really heavy, so they do a great job of stabilizing and weighing down the greenhouse, but they can also absorb heat during the day and release it back at night. So it's a little bit of climate control. So I've placed them in the sunniest locations so that they can heat up during the day. I'm really glad I brought in this evergreen. It kind of fills the greenhouse with a pine scent. It's really nice, and it looks great too. And until I need that space for other vegetables, it can stay right there. Eventually I'll probably take it outside, and I'll plant peppers and tomatoes, maybe even some pumpkins here. But all these big containers down here are probably all thawed out and ready to plant. So I'm going to be sowing some seeds in here and maybe planting out some lettuce. So I'm going to plant out some lettuce plugs here from our seed cells. We can sow out some new seeds, and next week I'm really going to start planting a whole bunch of vegetables and even some wildflowers. I'm not going to bother splitting these apart. I'm just going to plant them all together. Just going to try and be as gentle as possible and just fill in around them with some soil. There we go. So now we can sow out some new seeds in these cells, and maybe even squeeze some more seeds around in this container. I've got tons of parsley seed, so I'm going to sow out pretty generously a whole pot full of parsley. Now this can grow in the greenhouse, and then we can transplant these out into the garden later. So I'll just sprinkle on the seeds, and then kind of mix them into the soil. Press them down, and then we'll water them in and give them plenty of light. I can't wait to fill up all these containers. It really looks incredible when the greenhouse is just packed with plants. So I hope you all are getting ready for spring. Thank you so much for watching this greenhouse update, and I hope to see you next time.